Hi y'all, I'm Miss Stacy. Welcome to Stacy's Homestead, and today we're going to be prepping our tomatoes for canning. So I'm going to bring you in and show you how I do that. Alright guys, so we have about a bushel or two maybe, and you know I think it's a bushel and a peck of tomatoes here. And we're going to be processing these whole. So when I process tomatoes whole, I need to peel the skins, okay? So if I was making a soup or something, or even sometimes salsa, I wouldn't worry about the skins, but because I'm gonna do them whole in various ways, we're gonna peel them. So to do that, we're gonna check each and every one of them for blemishes, cut those off, and then I got a pot of water over here. I'm bringing it to boil, and basically what you just do is you put them in the boiling water for a few minutes, blanch them, and then shock them in cold water, and then they're easy to peel. So we're going to do that. Hey y'all, so before we put those tomatoes in the boiling water, we're going to sit here and prep them for the water. Now you can do a few things. You have a choice. You can just put them in like this, which I do to help hurry things up, and it'll split on its own right down the middle, and when you put them in that cold water afterwards, it just falls right off. Or some people like to do the X, which I find the X works more in the beef tomatoes, the bigger beefsteak tomatoes, or the other varieties of tomatoes, not so much the Roman. But so that's why you don't have to really do it with the Roman tomatoes. Their skins are pretty thin as is, and then you could core it. I like to use this little shiny, this little sharp spoon with jagged edges. It's awesome. I don't know what kind of spoon it's called, but I have a few of these from my great aunt gave it to me. Anyways, you can do it like that, or you don't have to core them. You can just put the X. But what I like to do with the Roman tomatoes is I just like to core them because it helps. It's a good step. And I don't even bother with the X. Now your beef, when I have a beef steak or the other ones, yeah, I want to put an X at the bottom. But these ones you don't need to do that. So, and then coring them also helps. But you don't even have to do that. You just pop it in. You just have to core them after they're done when you peel them. So I just like to handle them a little bit right now, more so when they're not hot. You know what I mean? So we're going to do our first batch, not a thing, doing nothing, just throwing them in there. And then while we're waiting on those in the hot water, we'll start coring these, okay? That way it speeds things up here. Let's go. Alrighty, so our water has come to a boil, and we're gonna add our tomatoes here. Okay, and so I'm gonna add them, and it'll only take a couple of minutes. Try to add as much as I can without splashing hot water all over me. Let's use this. I don't want to do too much because I want to be able to take them out. I don't want to cook them. So I'll do a little bit at a time. I think a few more. Try to get at least 30 or so in here at a time. I splashed water on me. Oh. Alright, so they're already starting to pucker up. So what will happen is they'll split down the sides. They'll just swell up and split like that if you don't have the X, which is just fine. So, I mean, it's all on. If you want to take the time to put an X at the bottom, if not, and they'll split open no matter what. And then start taking them out as they crinkle up, and put them in cold water, okay? So we got some ice cold water on the side. I had ice in it, but it melted. And go ahead and put that in there. The skins start popping off real easy. Look at this one's already like peeling itself. just, all you do is keep on going, putting them in and taking them out, dipping them in cold water, and then when I get this nice and full and they cool down enough to handle, then we'll start taking the skins off. Alright, these are the ones that aren't cored or anything. See, they split right nicely. You didn't even have to do a thing with them. Okay? They're all good. Put them in that cold water, and then we'll start tossing in the ones that are cored. Okay, let's put the cord ones in now. I only got a few done. It only took a few seconds to get these peeled. Got them 60 seconds, a little over 60 seconds, okay guys? Some tomatoes, like your other varieties, the big fatties, take a little bit longer because their skins are thicker. But these ones, it's usually about 60 seconds, a minute and a half. So, they're already, oh, that hot water's already split them, see? These ones already split right away. So, yeah, there's the difference here. The ones that you don't cut or put an X down, if you put them in whole, they take a little bit longer. But if you core them, you don't have to do the X, and they split almost like right away. That was super fast. See? It was like right away. Right there at the end where you cored it. So, alright, we're going to do all of these, and it'll probably take me a good hour to do all this bushel of tomatoes here. Now, if y'all don't know what a bushel is 32 quarts or 64 pints, and a peck is a quarter of it. Okay? So, alright, let's get this going. You'll ever hear that song by Doris Day? My grandma, my mom always sang this around the house to us kids. So, and I sing it to my kids. It goes, I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck, a hug around the neck, and a barrel and a heap, a barrel and a heap, and I'm talking in my sleep about you, 'cause I love you, a bushel and a peck, you bet your purty neck I do a doodle doo. And then there's another verse that I don't really get around to singing because I just sing this. My babes probably only know the first few lines because that's all that's ever been sung to me. No one ever gets around to the last few lines. One of those wasn't fully done. Alright. I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck. A barrel and a heap, a barrel and a heap, and a talking in my sleep about you. I sing that to my kids when they were little. Sing it to my babies. They love it. I have a lot of different lullabies I sing to my babies. Okie dokie, we're about done here with this batch and on to the next. I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck, a hug around the neck, and a barrel and a heap, a barrel and a heap and a tucking in my sleep about you, about you. I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck, a hug around the neck, and a barrel and a heap, a barrel and a heap, and a tucking in my sleep about you, about you. 'Cause I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck, a barrel and a heap, a barrel and a heap, and a tucking in my sleep about you. I do never go on to the other lines. I've always just repeated those to my children, you know, rocking them night-night. The same thing my mom did. She just repeated the same first verses. I do know the other lines, though. Just takes me a beat to remember them. So let's see. It goes the last few verses. So it would be, 'cause I love you, a bushel and a peck, you bet your pretty neck I do. That's it. And then it goes I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a peck through, wait, no, bushel and a peck, though you make my heart a wreck, make my heart a wreck, and you make my life a mess, make my life a mess, yes, a mess of happiness. That's how it goes. About you, 'cause I love you, a bushel and a peck, you bet your pretty neck I do, a do-do-do-do-do. I can't carry that tune all that well, but I think she yodels. I'm not sure. My grandma never sang that either. I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and it beats me all to heck. It beats me all the heck. I'll ever tend the farm. I ever tend the farm when I want to keep my arms about you. About you. 'Cause I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and I bet your pretty neck I do. That's the whole thing there, y'all. But yeah, like I said, I just stick to the first couple verses and then just go over and over that way, because that's just my favorite. I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck, a hug around the neck, and a barrel and a heap, barrel and a heap, and a talking in my sleep about you, about you. 'Cause I love you, a bushel and a peck, you bet your pretty neck I do. Look at that. So I'm going to continue singing my bushel and a peck song, because I got a bushel of taters. I just do that over and over again, rocking my babies to sleep with other nursery rhymes like Rockabye Baby. And what's another one that I would sing besides Rockabye Baby in the treetop? Rockabye baby in the treetop, when the wind blows, the cradle will rock. What's besides that? Besides Rockabye Baby, oh, there's several different ones I would always sing to them. Now my mind's going a blank. I went a walking after midnight, out in the moonlight, just waiting for you. I went a walking after midnight, searching for you. I seen a weeping willow crying on its pillow, and baby, he's crying for me. Yeah, that's another one. That's Patsy Cline. My grandma loved Patsy Cline. She would always cook in the kitchen, and she would dance. This is before she got sick and lost her legs. No one's pretty much ever seen her dance but me and out of my cousins. But yeah, she used to dance in the kitchen while she was cooking. And she'd listen to, you know, all the country singers. Some Elvis, Johnny Cash. So I have a very eclectic variety of music. I love all music. I mean, all music. It just depends on the mood, you know. So I love rock and roll. I love old country, folk music, modern music, rap music. There's some newer music. You know, you're old when you're like, I don't like that new music. But you know, I try to be open-minded and, you know, don't be like my grandma and everyone else that says, I don't like that new music. So try to be like, ah, that's cool. Yep, I love to dance. I used to be in the cheer pep squad when I was younger. And then we do dance competitions. And then, you know, always making up dance moves. I loved when I was in 8th grade, we had to take dancing and PE, and we did square dance. Oh, that was my favorite. I loved it. That was the only time I really loved PE. Learning how to square dance, it was just the best. I still remember, still know how to do it. If I ever get an opportunity to go square dancing. Then I like line dancing, I like all kinds of music. So, but there's some new country music I don't really mind. I don't care for some of that new stuff. Yeah, so the rockabye baby in the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall. Down will come baby, cradle and all. What's another one? Oh. Bye, pumpkin, daddy's gone a-hunting. Catch a rabbit skin to put my babies in. Bow, bow, baby pie. Bow, bow, baby pie. Bye, pumpkin, daddy's gone a-hunting. Catch a rabbit skin to put my babies in. I'm not the best singer, but that's my babies loved it. So those were my songs I used to sing to all my babies. And even when they're sick, I still do it. So bye, pumpkin, daddy's gone a-hunting. Catch a rabbit skin to put my babies in. Bow, bow, baby pie. Bow, bow, baby pie. Bye, pumpkin, daddy's gone a-hunting. Catch a rabbit skin to put my babies in. Bye, pumpkin, daddy's gone a-hunting. Catch a rabbit skin to put my babies in. Bow, bow, baby pie. Bow, bow, baby pie. Bye, pumpkin, daddy's gone a-hunting. Catch a rabbit skin to put my babies in. Alright, let me get finishing this up here. Coring these up and boiling them. Then we'll bring in when we peel. Alright, so remember, If it's cracked like this, they're all cracked. See, they're all cracked. They're ready to be peeled. So you don't have to put them in water. Okay? You can put them in a bowl with no water and they'll cool down and you can peel them. It's just easier to peel them in the water because the peels won't stick. But the peels will come right off. You don't have to put it in water. That's just something I like to do. So. See? Nice and cracked and wrinkly. I like to put them in the water because you could peel them. The peels just float in the water. They peel just a little bit easier. It's a lot faster. So that's why. So also, this is when you want to peel pears, peaches, you know, any fruits with the skin, you would do the same exact thing. You would just put it in boiling water and then cold water and blanch it. You know, the cold water just shocks it more and helps it just, the peels fall off basically for you. So, but I've done it before without putting it in water. It just takes a little bit longer. Okie dokie. So now I got 2 buckets of these sitting around. Here's one, and then here's the other over here waiting to rock and roll. And I got one more thing in the pot, a little bit more in the pot, but we could get started now. Okay. So it's taking me 2 hours to get this far. Okay, guys. So look at the water's cooled down enough, so that's good. And it just peels right out. Peels right out. It's beautiful. Nice and beautiful. We're going to put them in the bucket. So, some of these, this is the one I did not cut. Oh yeah, I did cut it. So some of these, the ones that didn't crack are a little bit harder. So that's why it's important to let them crack in the pot, because they just slip right out. They just slip right out. Look at that. So I didn't put any X's on them. I just cored them. Yeah, so they just slip right out. Pretty as can be. Pretty as can be. Pretty as can be. So there we go. Look at that beauty. Look at that beauty. And we're just putting them in the bucket right here. I'm not sure if you can see. Just put them in this bucket next to it. So there we go. Yep, just slide them on out. And you can like just pop them like that. If they're not cracked, just push them out like a grape. Pop it. Boop. 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 Now the skins you can save and dehydrate, which I am gonna do, but I have a lot of it, so I might just feed these to the chickens, because I already have a lot of tomato powder. So when you save the skins and dehydrate them, you powder it and turn it into tomato powder. But I have like jars of it, so you know I probably am just going to and this is the time if you have any blemishes to cut off. But yeah, I'm just gonna feed these to the chicken and probably compost most of it. That's what I'll do. Yep, so it's gonna take me another hour to get all these peeled, because I got a lot of tomatoes. A bushel and a peck is a lot of tomatoes. I probably have a little bit more than a peck. So there we go. Okay guys, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this here. And get this all peeled up. See, it's super easy. Super easy. Get it all peeled up. And then either you can can them right away, or you can put it in the fridge and save it for the next day, which I think I might do. So this one, the reason why, that's why I like coring them first. Look at, it's just harder to get the cores out afterwards. They get all squished up. So do the core before. It's just easier. Yeah, so you can either can them right away or put them in the fridge and do it tomorrow, which I might just do because I got a lot of stuff to do. Or, you know, I might just get one round canned up and then can the rest tomorrow. That's what I'll do, because I got a lot of jars. We're going to water bath can tomatoes. We're going to probably do that. Who knows? We'll see. I'll do another video on that, though. For now, we're just peeling them. Alright, guys. Super easy peasy. Easy peasy. Some of them are already just off for me. Some of them just fell right off for me. Yeah, so here's one, the one I didn't core. You know, I just don't, it's really hard to get it out without messing up the whole tomato if you wanted to can them whole and pretty. So, okay guys, that's how you do that. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Look. Beautiful. There's going to be a lot of skins. A lot of skins. Half for the compost, half for the chickens, half for the dehydrator. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. So when you core them first, so you don't go deep enough to penetrate the center, so no juice is going to come out when you boil it. So make sure you don't go all the way down in there, and then you're going to lose your tomato juice when you blanch. So just get the surface, okay? Before you, that's why I like to core beforehand. It's just easier, but yeah, just gouge out the surface of it. That way you leave all the tomato juice and stuff inside. You don't lose that till you're blanching. Alrighty guys, so we're all done peeling these tomatoes here. It took me a while. I started at 9 a.m. and it's 6 p.m. now, about. So, whole lot of tomatoes. Anyways, since it was so much, I have all kinds of other chores to do. So I'm going to pop these in the fridge and then can them tomorrow. So we'll get to canning these up in the morning. That dog, he wants to go outside and he heard me say chores. Alrighty y'all, so we'll just talk to you later, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Bye bye.